Your work ethic is crazy.
You know, for me, it was all based on my ability to tell a story, to be able to present an idea, communicate that idea clearly, and illustrate it when people couldn't see it in their heads.
Welcome to the story.
Welcome. We got something special for you today. This is our first ever interview, actually, with a Mr. Arvell Jones, renowned comic book artist. He's worked for Marvel. He's worked for DC. Worked on...
He'll actually draw attention to the fact that it's our first, inadvertently draw attention to the fact.
You'll definitely be able to tell.
It was our first event.
Yeah, but episode 12.
Yeah.
See how far we've come.
Wait a minute. So I'm gonna be looking this way, because I'm talking to you. So he needs to go that way.
First thing we've done.
Yeah. And is this the only camera you're using? Is he recording too? Okay, all right. Well, you should come around and stand here. All right, wait, now, better shot, right? Yeah. And you can move a little closer if you need. Since y'all said this is the very first thing you're doing, you know, and you want me in it, and you're gonna have my face in it, you know, I just want you guys to look good.
So we're here with Mr. Arvell Jones. Thank you for bringing this interview. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself, the things you've done. You know what I'm saying? Kind of what got you started.
When I was 13 years old, well, actually when I was 12 years old, I started a fanzine called Fan Informer. You know, like an 8-page, you know, 8.5 by 11 thing that we used to mail out. Now this is way back in 1969. I used to have some great contributors. A lot of people that I knew in Detroit, and a lot of people that, you know, after the fanzine came out, it started being, you know, kind of, I won't say widely circulated, but it went from California to New York at times. We only printed 200 copies, but it still went around. So I was getting contributions from all over the world. And some of those people they became, you know, comic artists and, you know, and working with us and doing publishing with us. Like Jim Starlin, who was the creator of Thanos, that's gonna be in Avengers Infinity War. Richard Buckler, who created Deathlock, you know, and Keith Pollard over there, who co-created Black Cat. And so all those guys, plus a ton of other people used to contribute to it. From there, because I'd gotten familiar with the different companies, I sort of hung around them and bugged them and whatever until I got some work. You know, first as an assistant to Richard Buckler, and then as a, you know, getting my own book later on. First titles were Iron Fist and Iron Man. I was the Iron artist. Were 2 bi-monthly titles, but I was doing them at the same time, staying busy. And then from there I went over to DC Comics and worked with Paul Levitz on, who was like a vice president of production or whatever at the time, and an editor. And I worked on Legion of Superhero, Super Team Family, Superman Family titles. Then I went back to Marvel, working on the Avengers, What If, G.I. Joe, and the new Universe titles came around. I worked on Starbrand and Nightmask and issue a piece of those. And then back over to DC where I worked on All-Star Squadron for a number of years with Roy Thomas. And I did the majority of the issues in the latter half of the series. And then I went back to Marvel again, worked on Captain America Annual, Daredevil, and some other titles. I went to Milestone Media, which was, you know, the multicultural comic company. Blood Syndicate, an issue of Blood Syndicate, and then an issue of Hardware. And then I got my own title, which was called Cobalt. Became an entrepreneur, was a TV, first a graphic artist, and then moved my way up to doing, you know, producing and directing some things stuff. And I found my way to Network Colors TV, which is an African-American network that was a basic channel on the Dish network. So we were in 13.1 million homes when I started, and 19.7 million homes by the time I left, which was kind of great all over the country. And then after that, a company that was an internet company that went public, you know, with a market cap of about $25 million.
Okay.
And 30 employees and everything. But I had a crazy partner who ruined it all. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Your work ethic is crazy.
You know, for me, it was all based on my ability to tell a story, to be able to present an idea, to communicate that idea clearly and illustrate it when people couldn't see it in their heads. With that ability, I was able to present advanced ideas to people who wanted to invest, and that got me to a point where, you know, I had the public company thing going. So it's all intermixed. You know, I've been a comic artist. You know, I created the character Misty Knight along with Tony Isabella, who was the co-creator, while I was at Marvel, and worked on a number of characters both at Marvel and DC, and expressed my ideas with them to kind of get things going.
Hey, so there you have it. Work ethic, crazy. That guy's an inspiration. Him and his buddies, it was like 3 of them?
Something like that. They used to pack up
Yeah.
in the car together and physically go to one of the Marvel guys'
office and just beat down the door. They were just really persistent, and it goes to show you how persistence can pay off.
I really appreciate just his persistence. At a young age, you really see that he was working, and it comes, I read a Mark Twain quote.
Mark Twain has a lot of great quotes. Always listen to the Twain.
I read a Mark Twain quote the other day that talked about your vocation should be your vacation. Really liked what he did, and he worked hard at it. And so it has to be both. It has to be a balance of both. So what is going on?
Tho Quang. That's the new character in my next novel. Tho Quang. I put that Mark Twain quote on Twitter, right? Jeff Goins.
And then I retweeted it.
Yeah, check us out on Twitter at The Story. So, you know, full of tips, full of retweets.
The moral of the story is just work your butt off. Do what you love. Get in front of people. I mean, he basically kicked down. There was no denying him into the industry. I mean, he wasn't gonna take no for an answer. He just kept going. Paid off. He's an icon. They invited him to be part of the Black Panther movie set. I mean, it's just
definitely didn't take no for an answer. Never forget. So don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and comment below.
No, so if you got any stories about kicking down doors, we need to do your first. Yeah, what were you doing at 12-year-old? What were you writing?
What were you writing? What were you drawing? What kind of stories were you telling? You know?
Yeah.
And did you stick with it? Or was it something that was a passing fancy? Don't forget to share. Wait, are we on the... Yeah, don't forget to share.
Because sharing
is caring.
People won't know how much you care
until they see how much you share. We're getting better at that.